Welcome to another episode of Beyond Physical, where we talk about the mental, emotional, social, and at times spiritual benefits of exercise. We believe that exercise is more than movement, and this podcast is our attempt at sharing that message with the world by sharing our own as well as our guests' experiences and knowledge. If you enjoy it, we ask that you please spread the message by leaving a rating and review, or even better, by sharing with a friend.
Hi guys, it's Demi.
Demi Lovato. I can tell Demi's not training today because she has her hair down.
No, I am training today.
Are you?
Yeah.
What are you training?
Hopefully, we're going to attempt plyometrics today
That's a big jump.
on my ankle. I'm going to start with, obviously, my ankle rehab, and then I'm going to do some skipping
Okay.
just to see. Because I really want to run on the trail this weekend.
Is this what Gideon prescribed?
What now?
Oh, who gave you these rehabs?
Oh, Gideon prescribed the rehabs. Me. Looks like I'm tired. I just want to run.
When did it twist? 2 weekends ago.
This Sunday, it will be 3 weeks ago.
Okay. So you've given it some time to rest.
Yeah, a lot of time for me.
Okay. How does it feel now?
It's okay.
One being pain-free, 10 being excruciating.
There's no pain.
Oh.
There's no pain at all. It's just uncomfortable. And then it still looks a bit swollen.
Okay.
But
Have you been taking any anti-inflammatories?
on the first day, I took like 5.
5? Oh yeah, then you were called in sick.
Mifedols.
You drugged yourself.
And then when I woke up the next morning, I was like, oh my gosh,
Hectic.
the stomach's not good. I had to cancel all my clients. Like, guys, not going to make it today.
How much time did you take in between each microdose?
Well, I took 2 at 1 p.m. and then I took another 2 at like 5 p.m. and then I took 1 at 10 p.m. So I thought I was going to...
Not that bad.
Exactly my point. I was like, why is my stomach being so weird? This is normal.
Because sometimes when I get like deep into an ultra, I'm pounding the Norflex.
Why?
Like 1 or 2 every... Because if I start to cramp, or if I think I'm about to start cramping, then I take a Norflex, which has paracetamol in it. So, which I probably shouldn't say out loud, because technically if I ever am competitive in trail running, that's not allowed. But I'm not, so hopefully no one cares. But I'm glad that you are on the road to recovery.
We're hoping. I actually still need to ask Gideon if I can run on Saturday.
He'll probably say no, especially if it's trail.
But trail is like more
It is, but it's
better
also...
on the feet.
It is, but it's also a higher risk, I think, just in terms of like going over on it again.
Yeah.
But like, if we take it easy, also, but it was in Newlands Forest that you went.
I know. It
Where
was
was
like
it? Cecilia Forest?
Constantianic,
Okay.
Cecilia vibes there.
Okay.
So it was dark.
Okay.
And there was like lots of leaves on the floor. So, and then I stepped and then it was sand. So my ankle just went boom.
Okay. Sand? Was it literally just
It
sand?
was like, I don't know how to describe it, but it wasn't solid.
Okay. It
It
just
was
kind
just
of...
like boom.
Yes. Interesting. All right. Well, hope to see you on the trail on Saturday.
I hope so too.
Thank you for being this last-minute savior of this episode. Because
we're rolling.
we had a series of events. Yeah, we're rolling.
Oh my
We had
God.
a series of events that... See, that's the
Yeah.
Sabrizi effect. I just put you at ease. You just didn't even know we were recording. No, I'm joking. Obviously we had 2 people on the pod become ill in very short... Well, actually, they were both kind of feeling unwell for the last couple of days. But anyways, we appreciate you. And the topics of conversation today still carry on our Women's Month theme, but I'm going to blend in some male related questions as well, just to give some sort of like general contrast. And the first one I wanted to find out was, it's relatively early on in your career as a fitness professional. How has it been breaking into the industry from a woman's perspective? Is it something that, there's some spaces, I think, where you would be aware of that dynamic and others where you wouldn't. As a fitness professional, is it something that you're aware of or not really?
I wasn't aware of it when I started, but then there were a few situations where I was going to get a take on a client, but the client said, no, I actually prefer a male trainer as to propose to a female. I wasn't expecting that, but yeah, that's the only thing I experienced as being a female in the fitness industry. Other than that, everything else has been good. I can't complain. That was just, I was a bit taken aback by that. Because I was like, it doesn't really matter, but I get people have their preferences, so I didn't take it personal. So,
It's also interesting because in our industry, in many ways, it's okay for a customer to say that and have that preference.
yeah.
But in other industries, it's not okay, and it's kind of
Yeah.
weird. And I've definitely seen it go both ways. I've seen lots of clients also say I'd rather work with a woman specifically, and but I mean it's a weird, like, for us as professionals in the space, it's kind of like I find it like particularly strange because it doesn't actually affect the service at all.
Yeah.
It's just how comfortable they
That's
feel.
what I was thinking. Like, I understand why because of how it went, but that's just their preference at the end of the day. And there's nothing I can do about it because, yeah.
How did you manage? Initially, obviously, that might have felt quite disheartening.
It was very annoying because the guy trained with me for a week and I was like, okay, we're doing great. Like, let's go. I'm encouraging this guy. Like, it's okay. We're starting from square one, but you're going to build. We're going to do this together. And then 2 weeks go by, didn't reach out. I was like, hey, I was speaking to his personal assistant. So I wasn't speaking to him directly, like, what's going on, blah, blah, blah. And then I found out that they had contacted front of house to ask for a male trainer. So he didn't even contact me
That is weird.
to say like, hey, sorry, I don't want to train with you anymore. I just prefer male. So that was the only thing and the only reason why I was like, that's annoying. That's rude. But what can you do, hey? Move on.
Yeah, I suppose the only thing one can do is not take it personally and just, because it isn't a you thing. It's not a reflection at all of your competence as a coach. It's just that
No.
person has obviously got some
Yeah,
perception
insecurities.
around, like, yeah, I would imagine it's an insecurity thing. But that is, and I would also think, I mean, we haven't gone and done proper research on it, but I think anecdotally we could probably say that it happens more that way than the other way.
Yeah.
As in, it's more the case that someone goes, I want to train with a female or with a male as opposed to a female,
Yeah.
than the opposite. It does happen both ways, but it does seem to skew the other way. I have no idea why.
I think it has mostly to do with ego.
I agree.
So,
Maybe
yeah.
as front of house, we should ask more often why.
Really?
I think so. I think it would be a good exercise. We could say, I respect that, but out of interest, why? What do you think you'll get from Jonathan as opposed to Mary?
They'll
That-
probably just say it's just my preference.
But why is that your preference? What makes it? Like, what led
I
you
would
to-
actually be interested to know what they would say.
And I wouldn't do it in like a judgmental way. I would just do it for sake of curiosity because I don't really understand it.
I also don't.
But I think you're totally right. I think it is an ego thing.
Definitely.
And so now you are in the space. You are, it's almost, I mean, career-wise, it's almost about a year, right? Or has it been longer?
Almost a year. I would say
Yeah.
December it would be a year.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
And what advice would you give to any young woman starting in the space?
In the space, like in the fitness industry.
Yeah.
To take up as much space as possible and to always work hard, like, and be consistent. Consistency and discipline is number one. Like, if you don't show up the way you do every day, then you're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to get clients. You're not going to see results. None of that. You can actually take that into every aspect in life. Just show up, be
True.
consistent and disciplined. But yeah.
How long did it take for you to become satisfied, if you are yet, with the number of clients that you picked up?
I don't think I am yet, but I'm happy with all the progress that I'm seeing with my current clients. That makes me really like, yay, you know, like really happy to see, because that's all I want to do. I want to empower people. I want to make them feel good in themselves, make them feel strong. And sorry, what was the question?
The question was it wasn't the one about what advice would you give. It was, are you happy yet with your kind of where you're at in terms of clients?
I think I'm not satisfied. I still want to help more people. I still want to bring in new faces and help more people. But yeah, I'm happy with what I've done so far for people, changing lives. So,
And I think your perspective that you have on exercise is quite rare, and I mean, I know a lot of people share it, like leveraging movement as a thing to make your life better as a whole and to be more free and empowered and just to make yourself and other people better.
Yes.
But it's oftentimes, I think, for men and women, but particularly for women, it's not necessarily the perspective that's taken. Exercise is engaged with in a different way.
Yeah.
It can often be something that isn't viewed so holistically.
Yeah.
It's more centered around image, and I think society has a big role to play in that.
Yeah.
What shaped the way that you view exercise, and why do you think you have the view that you do around exercise?
So basically, my whole strength training journey started when I was in high school, and growing up, a lot of older people would tell me, "You're so skinny. You need to eat more. Like I can touch you, and your bones are gonna break." And I was like, "I'm so over this."
That's wild.
That is wild. That's what I went through, and I was just like so over it. Like whatever, I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna put on some weight, gain some muscle. That was the goal. The goal was aesthetics when I started out, and then I started seeing results. But then I started lifting weight, like pushing heavy weight and feeling strong. And I just remembered how amazing I felt and how like empowered I felt lifting that heavy weight. Like I'm capable of like these amazing things and being this strong. And then my perspective changed completely because it's more than that. It's more than just like building big legs and a fat ass, you know? That's literally what everyone looks at it like. They start out like, okay, I want big legs, I want a fat ass, I want a six pack. But then as they get into it, they realize actually it's more than this. It's way more than this.
That's just the surface.
Yeah, that's just the surface. That's how you dip your feet in the water. It's like, nope, this is not where we're going.
And is that something you teach your clients, or is it goal specific when you are working with someone? Is your philosophy around exercise a big part of what you do?
Yes.
Okay.
I encourage them. When they come in, I always ask them how they're feeling, just to see where they're at, and if I can push them, and if I can't push them, I meet them where they are at. And yeah, I like to be pushed during my training sessions. I try to bring that over, but
No, that's cool.
yeah.
That's good. It's nice to
It's
do
like
that.
I'm just
And also, like, so when you are chatting to a client about their goals and why they want to do what they do, so obviously it can be very similar to like how I think the way I started with exercise was also very similar to yours, at least in the gym, where it was kind of vanity at the beginning and then it adapted and evolved into something else. When somebody comes to see you and you're working with them and they're telling you their goals and what they want to do you take, if they say something about weight loss, do you kind of take it at face value and go, okay, we're going to achieve that? Or do you go a little bit deeper into understanding the why behind that?
I wouldn't say I go that deep, but I think the longer I stay with the client, the more I get to know them, and then I find out all of these deep things about them and why they want these goals. And then I kind of, if it's good, if it's negative, I try and change the perspective for like the better. Like say, for example, someone comes to me and they're like, oh, I want to lose weight because I'm not happy with myself. Then it's like, okay, we're going to work on this. We're going to work on your self-esteem as well. And by doing that, I'm going to show you what you're capable of by obviously progressive overload and increasing the weight. And by hitting all those PBs and PRs, it's like I'm showing them what they're capable of, and I'm changing the way they see themselves as opposed to their capabilities and not how they look, which is more important, I feel.
So I suppose then you also you guide them along that journey of shifting their
yes.
own philosophy and relationship with exercise to more of a kind of life improvement tool as opposed to like a specific objective vanity-based thing.
That's what it is. It's more than movement.
It's more than movement,
More than movement.
And obviously we spoke about very, very briefly the kind of the difference in dynamic between, I think, working with male and female clients, or at least people having preferences. For you as a coach, do you have a preference?
I don't have a preference.
Okay, so you don't have a preference. When it comes to the dynamic or the way that you program, does it differ at all for you whether you're working with a male or female?
Not really. But what I take more into consideration with females is where they are in their cycle, because it fluctuates all the time. We have a 28-day cycle. So say, for example, it's the week before their period and that's their luteal phase, I wouldn't push them as much because I know their body is fatigued and they're not going to have as much energy. So the load would come down just to meet them where they're at. But I still find out from them how they're feeling, if they're feeling like they want to be pushed, and they just communicate that with me. Otherwise, no, that's all. That's the only difference. With guys, not so much, but also communicating how they're feeling, what they've had to eat in the morning, all that, and then assessing whether I can push them or not.
And when you're adjusting a program for where someone's at in their cycle, are you focusing more on the RPE and how they are feeling with that particular weight, or are you focusing more on when they are not in that specific phase, they are pushing X, I'm going to bring it down by 80% or 20% of X now because they're in their luteal phase? Or do you kind of have like a feedback thing of
It's
how
more
is
of a
this feeling
feedback
today?
thing because I know everyone's different. Like I'm different, for example. Every month it's different. Like the week before my period, sometimes I feel like, shit, I can go heavy. Like let me push some weight. But for other people, it's not so much. They don't want to be pushed so much. So I think it's different for everyone in that way.
Generally, are your clients aware of, do they have the body awareness of toning things back during their luteal phase, or will they kind of try and push through it, or does it like, basically do people have that awareness themselves to kind of be like, I'm not feeling my best, I'm at this stage in my cycle, or do you track it as the coach?
They don't track it. Like I only recently started doing this because I didn't take it into consideration when I used to train, say a year ago. So no, they will just tell me how they're feeling. Every time they come in, how you feeling? They'll tell me and I'll be like, okay. But I can't like just outright ask when you're getting a period. Because that's like, I've only been training with you for a few weeks. Like,
Sure.
I can't just do that. I have to like figure it out slowly but surely. But yeah,
Why do you feel like you can't ask?
I don't know. A lot of people aren't comfortable with a person that they don't know for that long. So I have to get to know them, make them feel comfortable, tell them more a bit about myself. Then those things are more normal. Because a lot of the time, I don't think it is a normal conversation to have.
I find that so problematic, to be honest.
I also
because
think it's
such a
problematic.
normal bodily function.
Like, especially with guys. A lot of guys, when I talk about training on your period, it's like, ugh, we don't need to know that. But it's like older guys, like my dad, for example.
Yeah, it's
So.
a generational thing. I think personally, I sometimes just feel awkward because of my ignorance. Because I haven't made enough time to research into how it affects different stages of training and things like that. I kind of have a general idea of how it affects mood and stuff. And it's
Mood.
ironic. I should
No,
know.
man.
What?
No, not just mood. Like it's hormones, but we have a 28-day cycle. So it's up and down and up and down.
I just remember
So-
my mom telling me sometimes, like, I'm at this stage, I might be, if I'm in a certain way, don't take it personally.
I'm the same way with Justin.
That's like
I checked like this week. I had the shittiest leg day. And I'm like, why do I feel so ugh? So then I checked my period app and it said luteal phase, like the week before period. So I just took a screenshot and sent it to Justin. He's like, please be nice.
How did you take that?
And I was just like, whatever, man. Because it's a joke, but it's like, like careful.
Yeah, tread lightly.
Yeah.
But then those apps I find quite interesting because obviously it's not using actual biomarkers and stuff and hormonal signals. It's kind of, I suppose you're putting in
Yes.
where you're currently and then it extrapolates from
Yeah.
there and then it kind of goes into a...
Like it depends. Everyone's different. I think
But how do they work? Because what if someone is irregular, right?
then
How will the app work?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure I can tell you that because I'm very regular.
Okay.
So I've never had a problem with that. But yeah.
Yeah, because I know it varies significantly for different people. So I would imagine that it's difficult for an app unless you're wearing like a CGM or no, CGM doesn't even measure hormones. It just measures your glucose level.
Yeah.
So
It's just hit or miss.
yeah, okay. And then in terms of your own training, personally, I know that when I'm dealing with, or when I was dealing with clients, that I kind of approached myself a little bit differently to how I approached my clients. I was a little bit harder on myself than I was on my clients.
Yeah.
When it comes to managing your own training load, cycle or not, like kind of being factored in, are you as compassionate and like accommodating,
No.
or do you sometimes just like grind it out and push through and
I grind it out and I push through. I don't know what rest is.
okay?
Until recently, I've been forced to just take a step back. But I preach to all of my clients, you need to rest. You need to rest. Rest and recovery is important. That's part of the, like a rest day is part of your training days. Like, but myself, don't ask me what a rest day is.
Well, how do you
So-
feel like you would be able to incorporate that better if you had a coach?
What do you mean?
As in, how do you think you'd be able to apply what you do with your clients, as in like being good with rest, to yourself?
I'm still figuring that out, because I've been forced to stop because of this ankle injury and it's taking a toll, but I'm coming to terms with it. Like, rest is important. I've been going flat out this whole year, and eventually there was going to come a time where I just had to stop and just chill, otherwise burnout and all of those things, but still figuring it out, making sure it's there, I guess.
It's very difficult, I think, to rein yourself in, and oftentimes with a lot of people, the reason why you get a coach is not to push you more, but to rein you in
Yeah,
and to tell you
chill.
when to chill. Like the only time I experienced burnout with training in the last maybe, I don't know, 6 or so years was when I wasn't with my coach for about 8 months,
Really?
which is bizarre. You'd think it would be not that, you know.
Oh, I need a coach.
It was literally that 8 months I took of not being with my coach, where I just like spammed the events and did all these silly things and was having no like actual
Yo, that's
rest
literally
period
me right now.
and just like having fun, quote unquote, and doing anything that I kind of wanted to do. But it's so unsustainable. But if you have a coach and you're paying the coach and they're putting a certain, you know, they periodizing you, then you listen, you know?
Yeah.
Like if it's like it's crazy. I don't know if you're the kind of person who, if it says 9.87 kilometers, you want to run to 10 Ks.
No, I would do the 10.
You do the 10.
I would do the 10. Because,
So
like, ew.
I kind of had that before, and then I got a coach, and he often programs for time. So I would often get to like 9.95, but the hour had hit. I'm like, I'm not running another meter.
No way.
Coach said 60 minutes, I'm running 60 minutes. And I like stay on the thing.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm a lot more lenient now, like, because I know that 5 extra minutes here and there are not going to
Kill you.
kill me. But generally, I find that if you have that accountability of someone who's watching you and they're going, hey, Demi, I've noticed you usually go like 17 to 25 minutes over your workouts. Just watch that, because that's going to catch up to us when we really start ramping things up.
Yo.
Then you're probably going to dial it back.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
Get a coach, guys.
Get a coach.
Get a coach.
Even online, like my coach is not even in person, and it makes such a big difference. And the payment thing is such a weird sort of accountability,
Yeah.
where as soon as you're paying for it, you respect it.
Yeah.
It's like, okay,
We're doing this.
we've got to do it, and we've got to do it exactly
Stick to
how
the
he's telling me to
plan.
do it. But
Yo.
yeah, I would highly recommend it. So, oh, that's a nice one. We covered that. So, in terms of, I want to take us back to the beginning a bit, to your training journey,
Yes.
maybe so that everyone and your clients know you a little bit better, unless you probably shared this with them. But I know personally when I started gym, I had a bit of imposter syndrome, as in when I was like in grade 9 or 8 or whenever it was, and just started lifting and kind of felt a bit uncomfortable in the space.
Really?
Kind of, yeah. When
Like
I was,
uncomfortable as in like going to the weight section. Like,
yeah. I remember the exact moment when I stopped having it. I started lifting intentionally to gain muscle at 14 years old, and I was going with this older guy in my boarding house called Jared, and Jared and I were walking to the Virgin Active Claremont, and it was like my first week or 2 of training, and I said, Flip, man, I kind of feel a little bit weird sometimes when we come into the weight room, because I think these guys here are so much more experienced than me, and they're so much more developed than I am, and I just kind of look a little bit silly. And he was like, just remember, you're here to improve yourself, and if other people are watching you and not what they're doing, you're getting better and they aren't. So just for, and this was he was like
That's
a 15-year-old, and he told me this.
15.
Yeah, he told me that. I was
That's
like,
insane.
I was like, damn.
But that's true. But was he like more experienced?
He was. He'd been
jump.
training for about a year or more, or whatever. And I was like, shit, that is so true. And then I never really had it ever again. And it's a big ego thing. It's like that was my own ego being like, oh, I wonder what people think and stuff. But
I have the same experience.
you had that as
Yeah,
well.
I literally remember like I would just work with dumbbells and kettlebells in like the corner, and then I would just stay there. But I'm like, oh, I really want a barbell squat, like, but I'm scared. And what if I drop the ball? What if I fail? Like I'm gonna look like an idiot in front of all these experienced pros. And then one day I went in, and then after my session, I finished the entire session with the dumbbells, and I was like, Demi, you're gonna do this. Like, we have to take this step now. Like, there's no one that's gonna hold your hand. You just have to do it by yourself. This is how we improve. This is how we progress. So I went into the section. There was a free squat rack, like one, like it was just meant for me. And so I set up the barbell. I did like a few reps, and then I was like, a win is a win. And then after that, it was cool.
So you just overcame that yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
All by myself.
You didn't have a Jared?
No, I didn't have a Jared. I had social media, all the resources online with the programs, and just me pushing myself mentally.
Who were some of your early influences in your training, your strength training journey?
I can't put a name to it, but there were a lot of people online that I would just follow. Like, they would take you on their journey of when they were small, and then they got big, and then consistency, and I was like, that's going to be me. So I can't put a name to it.
Really?
No.
There
There was a lot of influences.
Surely
but I
there's
can't
one
say
that
there's
you're
like one person. I can't.
And were you mainly on Instagram or YouTube?
I would say YouTube.
Your YouTube.
Everything YouTube.
University of YouTube is, I think that's where Mark got his skills. I don't know. That's where I got my, like, its main exercise, education. It's just YouTube.
Yeah.
Steve Cook was big for me. Mainly actually Steve Cook. It was so cringe. The thing that he did was called Swolger Nation. But I used to follow along. He literally did like a bodybuilding prep. And he was like, what's going on, Swolger Nation? And I was like, yes. No. I was so excited. Like a little cringe 15-year-old. But I mean, it was super cool. And he actually was very knowledgeable, and he shared a lot of cool information, and it kind of felt like a teacher. And then I also really liked the guys from the 70s and the 80s, like those old school bodybuilder dudes. There's like a lot of stuff on YouTube. There's that documentary called Pumping Iron. I don't know if you've ever watched it, but it was actually the Mr. Olympia and it happened in Pretoria. It was so random. It's like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Lou Ferrigno, like classic old school bodybuilding in Pretoria. It's so random.
It's so random.
But those kinds of dudes I also thought had some interesting information, and I would like find their workouts online, or supposedly it would say like this was Arnold's workout, but I mean fuck it, posted by like jacked Hugh Jacked Monkey Man 101 or something on some blog. I'm like, I believe this. It's definitely Arnold's thing. But yeah, I would say Steve Cook was big, and then I wouldn't say there was actually any other significant influence, but it's cool that people give access like what you do on Instagram, and then it's inspirational and people can follow along, and I'm sure from time to time people also ask you stuff, and like, yeah, it's so cool that we can do that because you have access to these people who are posting their schedules and whatnot. Okay, so you just did it solo.
I would follow regular people, like not big in the strength training, just like regular people going to work, filming their life, like vloggers, to say. And then they would go to the gym, and I'd be like, okay, this is my life. I'm in high school. After school, we're going to go to the gym. This is what we're going to do. And then they would just show their progress over time. And I was like, sick.
And for that imposter syndrome, I think it's something that a lot of people get. How would you how would you guide someone? Or because I mean, you had an amazing testimonial the other day from one of your clients who started training by herself.
Yeah.
How, explain to me the process of helping her to get to that point of first needing that guidance and then being able to go and train by herself without you.
She disclosed in the beginning that she wants to eventually just be able to do this by herself, but she was at a level where it was going to take a bit longer because of where she was at, and I just encouraged her, went slow with her, went with her at her own pace. She was also going through her own stuff, and she would use that session to just be there, you know, and I would stay for her, listen. But yeah, it's all mental.
Okay.
It's all mental.
Were there any specific tips or things that you gave her that like allowed her that sort of confidence to go at it by herself?
Yeah, like in the last month, I was with her. I would say, we're doing barbell squats, go set it up yourself. And then she would set it up herself, and I'd be like, no, don't do that, do this. Just so that she's confident in the space. Because if I do everything for her, but her goal is to ultimately do it by herself, then we're going to end off and it's going to be like, she comes to the gym and then what am I doing?
You were
know?
kind of taking off the training wheels.
Yeah, basically.
That's very smart. And I firmly believe that a job well done when it comes to PT would entail that ideally you don't actually want to be directly working with a client in the gym for more than 6 to 9 months.
Yeah.
Like after that, they should be fully educated in terms of what they need to do. And then it probably shifts more into an accountability thing, to be honest, where they've kind of absorbed all of the possible information that they could. And now they kind of
Paying off, like seeing your babies leave the house.
Exactly.
Kind of vibes.
But that's a really like I thought that it was such a cool testimonial.
Yeah, enough to make a grown man cry. Proper.
I was like, damn.
Like actually.
This is good. She wrote like a proper long thing. Shout out.
Shout out.
Shout out. And
Shout out.
what happened? Oh.
She's right there.
Oh shit. That's crazy. That's super cool. I'm not gonna mention names in case she doesn't want to be named. Also, low-key don't know, but it's fine. But if you had to go back, this is actually a good question, if I do say so myself. If you had to go back to your beginning self, beginning in the gym, what advice would you give in terms of getting started?
I would literally say just start.
Okay.
That's all.
But how do you do that? That's annoying. I know I need to start, but how? What do I do?
There's so much resources out there. There's so much people out there. There's so many coaches that can help you. Use the resources you have. You don't have to do everything by yourself.
That's very good
At
advice.
all. Like, go out there. We're all here to help you. I'm here. Coach Demi's here. Come to me. I'll change your life.
Hit her up.
Just start. Like, you see all these videos of people doing nothing in the gym, and you look like a year later and it's completely different person. But that's because they took that step and faced that fear of just starting. That's all you have to do. It's the hardest step to take, is
True.
to just start.
Yeah, that's
After
very
that,
true.
you got it.
Yeah, I think it's quite remarkable that you didn't have a training partner or something.
Yeah, it was just motivation. Like, I'm so annoyed with you people telling me these things about myself. No. Yeah. And then it changed.
Just start
For
is
the good.
is a good piece of advice. Your training split when you began, how many times a week were you in the gym?
It was like proper push-pull legs. Split
How many
5
days
times a week.
5 times?
5 times a week.
From nothing to 5?
No. Obviously, I eased my way into it. I started with like 2, and then 3, and then 5.
Okay.
It's like a leg day, upper body day. And then a leg day, 2 upper body days, and then 2 leg days and 2 upper body days. Just splitting every muscle group. That was the vibes.
Okay. So if you're looking to get started, just start. But
Yeah.
don't try and do it yourself. I think that's
No.
that's
No.
my key takeaway.
It would have been so easy if I went to someone and I asked for help, because I didn't ask for help. I had a bit of an ego. I was like, I'm going to do this by myself. I'm going to achieve it by myself, which I did, but it took longer than it could have, you know?
Yeah, that's true. You don't necessarily need a coach. You just need someone who knows a little bit about the thing you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Knows more than you do. and can at least just point you in the right direction.
Like anyone in the gym, even the jacked dudes in the gym will give you advice. Like there's no ego. You think like this jacked dude is judging you because you're so skinny. No, they're happy for you. They're so happy for you that you're there, you're putting in the work.
That's very
It's
true.
not that deep.
Yeah,
It's
that's
only
true.
deep because you're making it out to be deep.
Just start. It's all in the mind.
Yes.
Okay, overrated, underrated. The Runner app.
Underrated. What do you think?
I haven't used it, so I can't give you a good answer. I'm a very practical person, so I like to use the thing before I
Okay.
give feedback.
I've
But
used it.
I mean, just from really.
Yeah, I've
Oh,
done.
you used it for some
I've
like.
done everything with that this year. So
Okay, but your ankle's sore now.
there are some things that they could be doing a bit better, but ultimately their plans are good.
They're good.
Yeah.
I mean, I've chatted to. So Dan, who's one of the oldest members at Horizon, or longest standing members, he's using the Runner app now, and he's seeing insane progress. And I mean,
Yeah.
your running has progressed a lot as
Yeah.
well. So
Like I took, what did I take? Like 15 minutes of my 5K.
that's wild.
It's crazy.
I also think, to be honest, like, and I really mean no harm to any running coaches out there, because it's also something that I've done and used to like support my own income. But I think that run coaching, or at least running, is one of the exercise modalities that you can really just break down to the numbers.
Yeah.
It helps a lot to, of course, have a coach to kind of guide you in those like soft areas. But once you have a sort of intuition around your own body, you just really need the periodized plan.
Yeah.
And if you're feeling a little bit overworked, you can dial it back yourself if you have the discipline. Like, I know you and I might not do that so well, but you know, it's something that you can. Whereas strength training, I find incredibly difficult to just plug into an algorithm. I think there are a lot more.
Because there's a lot of things to take into consideration, like people's biomechanics, their body mechanics, injuries, all of those things. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Also, strength training is not something that we naturally learn how to do.
No.
Running is a natural human capability in general.
Yeah.
Like most human adults, or children rather, learn to run very soon after they've learned how to walk.
Yeah.
Strength training, if you put a dumbbell, like if you chase a child, they run. If
Yeah.
you put a dumbbell on a child's hand, they're not going to know what to do with it. It's
Yeah.
not. It's not a
It's a good
natural.
analogy.
It's not a natural thing. So running is something I feel like it's a lot easier to like plug into an app and then you get results.
Yeah.
So I can't agree or disagree, but on like the face of it, I'd say I agree that it is
Okay.
probably underrated.
Yeah.
Then overrated, underrated. Trail running.
Underrated.
Why do you say underrated?
I wouldn't say it's overrated.
Yeah,
I think a lot
agree.
more people are coming into it. Like even myself. If you had to ask me a year ago, I'd be like, lame. So underrated
Oh.
because it's better on the joints as
Yes.
opposed to just taking a beating from the road every day as a road runner. Like it's good to take a break in the mountains. It's also just refreshing just to be out there in nature. So underrated for sure.
And overrated, underrated, cross training. So using other forms of cardio like cycling and swimming to supplement running.
Underrated.
Interesting.
Well, I wouldn't say it's overrated. You can't just run all the time. Otherwise,
I do that.
you might.
I don't get injured. Touch wood.
You're a different story. You're a different breed of person. Like, you can't even say you're like a human being. So,
Thank you. That's very kind.
it's important, I would say, to give your joints just time to chill, like on a bike. It's also fresh, new things. You don't want to just be doing the same thing all the time. It gets boring after a while.
I agree. Also, Coach Brendan, my coach, puts spinning and like, well, watt bike. When the load gets really high, he starts to put the watt bike
And
in.
do you do it?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, I do. If he puts it in, I'm doing it.
okay. Yeah, that's true.
Like for me,
I just haven't seen you spin in like a minute.
it's because I haven't been in prep this whole year, and you only officially started this year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Gideon will tell you I used to spend, once I did a 3-hour watt bike workout.
No.
Yeah. I had a knee niggle and I had a long run, and then Brendan switched it out for a cycle. I literally was on
That's
the bike
insane.
for 3 hours. Yeah, it was
That's
crazy.
insane. Get a road bike and go ride on the road.
That's too
I
expensive.
can't freaking do
That's too expensive.
3 hours on the indoor trainer.
I watched the William Googe documentary, and I watched nothing else. No, I watched William Googe, and then I watched like the bit of the Tour de France documentary,
Okay.
and then just
Fair enough. That gets you locked in. Like, I can be like them.
Yo,
I started cycling after I watched that documentary.
so sick.
Because it's like you get a different perspective of the actual sport. It's just like not just riding a bike.
Yeah, you big into that. You post on your stories and stuff.
Yeah. I just became big into it. So,
Tade the goat.
Tade the goats.
Okay, let's do one more. You ask me one.
Okay, what's the common myth that you debunk
Common myth that I debunk. Yo,
with like in fitness?
in fitness.
Yeah.
So something that people believe generally but isn't true. I mean, it's not revolutionary, but the fact that people are concerned about getting bulky from strength training.
I was literally thinking of that one right now.
I think that
Like when a
is the
client
biggest
comes to me
load
and
of
is like,
bullshit ever.
I don't look bulky, like as a female. I'm like, it's literally impossible.
I've had male clients say to me, "Yeah, so I'd love to put on some muscle, but like I don't want to look like you though. Like I don't want to get as big as you." I'm like, "Drew, you have no idea how long it took. Like you literally and how much
No,
like
it takes
food
like
you
years
have to eat and
of
like
discipline as well. They think you're just gonna lift one dumbbell and then boom.
it's like it's crazy."
No.
And also I think the funny thing is people don't understand that if you get to the point where you're not that happy, like if it is a vanity thing and you don't want to be too muscular, you can just stop. Like just stop lifting.
Actually.
It's like such a like weird. It's so strange.
A lot of people don't have the knowledge on it. That's why I think that's how they think.
You know what? I think it's also the case because people generally don't notice if you have just like a really quote unquote, and this is so subjective, but like healthy looking physique. They won't assume that you lift weights. They only assume that you lift weights if you're super jacked.
Yeah.
So they don't realize how much there is in the middle.
Yeah.
This person lifts weights, that person lifts weights, that person lifts weights. They all look like normal, healthy people.
Yeah.
But you're like, I don't want to lift because I'm going to look like the extreme. But you're not going to look like the extreme because most people do, well, most of the people that lift look like the middle. They don't look like the end.
And it takes like 10 years to get jacked like that.
Yeah.
So,
Don't worry, guys. There's a lot of time to dial it back. If you get absolutely yoked, if you have a myostatin deficiency like a Belgian blue cow, just stop training when you start getting insanely jacked. And then, have you seen Belgian blue cows? YouTube that shit. It's crazy. Pull that shit up.
Belgian blue
Put it on
cow.
the thing. Dude, those cows that are like so yoked.
What?
So they are like,
Like
because
jacked?
they have a genetic disorder where the thing that, they're wild. That thing,
I
they're not
can't
actually
see.
wild. They're extremely domesticated, but wild looking.
That
They-
looks very scary.
Yeah, they have this genetic disorder basically where the gene or whatever that inhibits muscle growth, myostatin, is too low. So they're just getting more and more and more muscular. So they look like that.
Cool.
Fun fact for the day, guys. You won't look like that. Just, you can stop. And yeah, I would say that's my biggest myth. And I don't know when it's going away.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I think will help it though is more quote unquote normal people or people living normal lives or people that don't live or look like an extreme athlete posting about their weight training journeys. And then people going, oh, Ella McNella or some like random person online who's got like a huge following or like Mr. Beast. Doesn't look like a bodybuilder, but he's like got a career and stuff. If he was posting about weight training, people would be like, oh,
Yeah, it's all about influence.
Yeah, exactly. Like also Stephen Bartlett talks about his training a lot. Kevin Hart does, but I mean, Kevin Hart does look amazing. No offense to Stephen Bartlett. So I feel like that's really important for shifting the
narrative.
because we only see the influences and they all look freaky.
Yeah.
I mean, good for them. But it's not like the normal person then goes weightlifting equals that.
And then they train for a month and then they're like, I don't look like that. I'm going to stop. This is a waste of time.
Yeah, or even worse, they don't start because they don't want to look like that. They're like, I don't want to be I don't want to be too ripped or too something.
Overrated, underrated, barefoot
That is
shoes.
That's a great question. So overrated, underrated, barefoot shoes, severely underrated. Both of you guys need to go and get this, whatever those things are on your feet, checked out.
Even from leg
Basically
day.
Chinese foot binding.
On Monday. Even from leg day on Monday.
Yeah, you were here the first time I saw you training, AD, with like, I don't know if it was Maria or it was with Demi outside there.
It was Maria.
You had like these squishy shoes on. Then take the socks off as well.
Let them dogs out.
I don't know what's wrong with the grippers. It's natural. Normalize
Oh
the
my
grippers.
gosh.
Your grippers.
Yeah, because when she does the RDL, her toes like...
Really?
So I
You
was
see,
like,
but that's
it's because
because
you
you're
don't
wearing
fit. I
these
told
bound
her.
shoes. Seriously. It causes muscle atrophy in your feet. It does. So, guys, either get wide toe box shoes or just...
Oh, you get
No,
over
it's not ugly
you
looking.
get over it.
Mechanical efficiency and health.
You agree? Oh my gosh.
You will care, I promise you.
When your
Because
toes look like this.
when they're literally, your toes are cuddling constantly, they're spooning because you wear squishy shoes that smush them together. Yeah, but can I tell you, this is another misconception. Let me get into this right now. So Mark just said for you guys, because Mark isn't mic'd up, he says he doesn't care that he has, have toes that look like they're spooning when he's 80 because he's not going to be taking his shoes off, whatever. That's not actually the problem. It's not about how your feet look. It's about how it feels when you walk, because your feet are the very foundation of the whole movement chain that happens.
Yes.
And it'll probably affect us like, as soon as it gets bad enough, it'll start affecting you by like 45, 50, because you're going to start compensating in other ways.
Yeah.
If your tootsies are not positioned correctly, So, I mean, it's that is a huge underrated.
You're going to need like a walking stick or one of
100%.
this stuff.
Which can be avoided.
It can be avoided.
But you know what a small starting point is? Either just don't wear shoes when you come to the gym, like lifts with socks.
Yeah.
Or if you've got some budget. I mean, to be fair, Mark, your lifting shoes are very good. They're wide toe box. They've got a nice platform. So just have specific shoes for the gym so that you're at least giving your feet some sort of stimulus and love, because what's nice about those movements as well is because you are loading up, you are having to use the grippers. So if you give them more room, then...
Not the grippers.
if you're using more room, if you give them more room, then they can splay and they can really interact properly with their environments. And I promise you, what's crazy as well? This is a complete vanity thing, but I noticed my soleus, it's actually not that vanity, but it is kind of. When I started wearing barefoot shoes about 8 to 12 months in, my soleus had become so much more developed, my lower calf. I literally used to have like a chicken drumstick calf. Like the bottom was like completely nothing, and then it was just gastrocnemius.
I'm waiting for that to happen to me. I'm like proper waiting for that to happen because mine are like non-existent.
But you know what it is, I think? I think it's because it's so flat. Yeah, Mark's locked in. He has no need for any of these.
No, Mark doesn't.
things.
No.
Mark's number one on the leaderboard of best calves at Horizon. Actually, possibly best calves in Western Cape. I submit that online and get a poll going, bro. People will vote Mark up above anyone. Your grippers and your calves. This is getting crazy. That is seriously crazy. That needs to be behind a pay gate. But what was I saying about
Barefoot shoes. Underrated.
Barefoot shoes are underrated. My solei developed from wearing barefoot shoes because the shoe is flat. You're getting more of a dorsiflex at the ankle, so that is like stretching it out, and I think it causes more development in your calves. And I always used to have issues with shin splints. Don't anymore. I used to often have issues with my knee. Very rarely do now. My lower back used to be a huge problem. It is touch wood, never a problem now. And it started off by wearing my barefoot shoes for like 20 minutes a day, and now I wear them pretty much all the time. And it's like, it's basically free health improvement. It's like you buy the shoes, you change nothing else, and it just makes everything else better. But you do have to phase it in, because remember, you did it a bit too much, and then
You see.
you got to start small.
Yeah.
But okay,
Would you ever run with barefoot shoes?
walk run, because I'm concerned about getting shin splints.
Okay.
So
Makes sense.
I just try, and I'm sure I could. I think I've run like 1.5 or 2 Ks unbroken, and I'm heavy, like I'm 95 kilos, and I was
that's a
on
lot.
tar, and that was actually fine. But no, I haven't tried. There was a dude, my first 2 Oceans ultramarathon that I ran. I've only actually run one. When I ran 2 Oceans, at about 35 Ks, this guy came past me, and
Don't tell me he was
He was barefoot. He was barefoot. He had these massive, like, hobbit feet, and he was like, they were like muscular feet, like ripped,
Oh my
like kind of
gosh.
like if you took Hulk's feet and you put them on a normal human body, and he had these feet, and he was just running. It was just fucking crazy.
That must have humbled you.
And underneath
Like,
it looked
oh my
like
gosh.
leather, but he just like flew past me. Obviously, he'd been running barefoot for many years.
That's still crazy.
It was amazing. I mean, the musculature in his calves and stuff was also really, it put Mark to shame, and that's saying a lot. But Demi, thanks for the foot chat. Thanks
You're
for the,
welcome.
thanks for the foot chat and the insight on getting started and the different dynamics of male and female training. And thank you for listening, all. We'll catch you in the next episode.
Yeah. Bye.
I'm not saying slay.
Slay. Say it. You have to
Definitely
say it.
not saying slay.
You're in the
That's not-
podcast. I'm in the podcast. You have to
I
say
will
slay.
preserve the non-Gen Z.
Slay.
The Gen
say
Zs
it.
will not take over.
Just
Mark,
say
I've
it.
got us. Not slay. No. You got to. It'll be a long time. I saw he did that. I was like, nah, bro, they're getting to you here. They're getting to you. Queen is chill.
Oh, yes, queen.
Yes, Queen.
Yeah. Say, yes, queen.
Thanks, Demi Queen.
Yes.
Not saying the
Slay.
S word.
Slay.
Definitely not saying the S word. Because then it's going to actually become a habit, and then I'm gone.
Thank you so much for listening to the show, guys. We love answering specific questions. So if there's anything you want to know, leave a comment or reach out to us directly at HorizonZA on Instagram, or email us at movement@horizongym.com. Until next time, I'm your host, Seb Prentice, and this is Beyond Physical.